So I thought this was cool enough to record. This is the decompression system on the Husky 701. It's got a weight, like a weight here that when you're trying to start the vehicle, it's like that, and then when it runs, the centrifugal force forces the weight out, and it changes the actual cam timing. It's pretty much like a cam inside of a cam. Got a little lobe there. That's for the rocker arm for the exhaust valve. So pretty much when it's running, it pulls in like so, and when it's starting, it's out like so, and pretty much has the exhaust valves open a hair at top dead center just to make it easier to crank. Only reason I'm fascinated by it is because I had mine fail already, and this is what flung through my motor earlier. Okay, so back to these weights. This one here, I feel like has a lot of slop, more than it probably should. I don't know. I feel like it comes out like 1/8 of an inch. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, okay. 1/8 of an inch. This other one isn't near as bad. I'd say it's probably half as much. 1/16 maybe. So, you know, this, I don't know what the spec is. You know, I doubt there is a spec for that. I'm sure there's a torque spec for that, which I don't know right now off the top of my head. But this top end has been really loud, or at least I feel like it's loud. I feel like it sounds exactly like it did when it blew up before. I've had one of these, this bolt here backed out, and it flung this weight through my valve cover, and now it's loud again, like before that happened. I just checked my valves, everything is within spec, and maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I just feel like that is a lot. Maybe it's not, I don't know. So here's the valve cover. I think that probably happened from when I was trying to get it off, since it's kind of tight. I don't see what else could be hitting that. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that too. Let me know. For anybody wondering what the actual clearances were, on the intake side, I only have imperial feeler gauges, so bear with me here. The intake side, the 5,000 gauge went in easy, 6,000 gauge did not. As you see, the metric equivalent is on there as well. For the exhaust side, the 9,000s went in easy, the 10,000s I could actually shove in on the one side, but you know, the gauge is a lot thicker, and it probably, you know, doesn't really qualify. But regardless, even if it's a little bit loose, you know, out of spec loose, I'm okay with that, since the spec is 0.250 millimeters, and you know, this gauge is 0.254. Yeah, that's pretty much it. 7,500 miles on the bike. So I ride it, you know, I don't baby the bike. So if you ride anything like me, just so you know, I didn't check the clearances. You know, this is my first check, so I don't know what they were. Maybe they did tighten up and they're all too loose, but I'm guessing, you know, it was probably within spec to begin with from the factory, and you know, we're still right in the middle of the range there. So this plug here on this side, So you can turn the motor over there. It wants a 14 millimeter Allen wrench to to remove this thing. I didn't have that. That's the only tool I didn't have for this valve adjustment here, or check rather. But I did have a 3/8 inch bolt lying around, and if you are missing the same tool, a 3/8 inch bolt typically has a 1/2 inch head, which is the same as 14 millimeter. You can use that. I just drove it in, tapped it in with a hammer, and put 2 nuts on it to get some leverage on it, so I could twist it off. This is the last tip I have. I guess coils or whatever were pretty difficult for me to remove. It's just there's 2 bolts here, 1, 2, and then this thing just pulls out. But I was using more force than I thought was necessary without worrying about breaking the heads off of these things. But they do just pull out. I sprayed some WD-40 along the base of these, where where it sits here in the head, and that really made things easier.